Hi, I'm Sydney Brito. I grew up in Washington State, and I work as a radiology manager for Duke City Cares, which is based in Albuquerque, New Mexico. As a radiology tech specifically, we have a really large scope of practice in medicine. So we do everything here at the clinic from checking in patients to triaging them, taking their vital signs, asking them what's wrong, why they're here today. We can actually even give meds. We can splint them when needed, when the doctor orders that. And then, of course, we also take them in for their x rays or their ultrasounds when the doctor orders that as well. But we really try to use our full clinical scope here rather than just all day taking pictures, which is kind of nice. It's an advantage of working at an urgent care versus the hospital. Typically, in the hospital, you're taking images for more patients per day. And here we have the time to be able to really get to know the patient and try to take care of the full patient and see them from the front door to checkout. So I actually had a kind of non-traditional approach to this career. I enlisted in the military while I was in college. And there's an aptitude test that is related to that entry process. And I tested higher in areas that they suggested this job to me. I wasn't actually aware of it beforehand. I wanted to be a combat medic and get shot at. But they suggested radiologic technologist, which was the MOS at the time. So I had kind of a non-traditional um, entrance into this field. On the outside, in the civilian sector, it's a 2-year school. In the military side, it's a year. So it's an accelerated program through the military. I'm not sure I would do it again that way had I had the foresight, but it was really good for me at the time. It was definitely what I needed. I needed some discipline, I needed some structure, and gave me some life skills that I've obviously used to this day. I actually met my husband while I was in the military. And for my job specifically, there is a national registry. So the military is an accredited school that qualifies you to take this national license. So once you're out, you have the license to work in the civilian sector. And I ended up moving back here where my husband's from in New Mexico when we both got out of the military. And I honestly just applied. I applied for jobs. I didn't know anyone. All I had was this licensure and this military experience, which appealed to the person that was interviewing me at the time. So it took me 3 months to get this job, which felt like a lot longer than than it actually was. When you have no job and you're in a new place and you don't know anyone, it felt like forever. Once I got this job, I actually followed the medical director to a different company. So it got bought out. The previous job got bought out, and I followed him to this one. And so it took about, I want to say 4 years before I was a manager. I was a supervisor probably 3 years in. In high school, I remember being very involved in and interested in biology. I took a lot of AP courses that I definitely think prepared me for the accelerated program that I was involved in. It was very academically challenging. So I definitely think that studying, those studying patterns and trying to focus and learn things very quickly through those accelerated classes helped prepare me for the x-ray school in the military. Some things that I've learned over the years that I don't think anyone really talks about is just the importance of being kind and creating relationships with people. Like-minded people can really make a difference. Networking is something a lot of people don't talk about in high school, but it's so important. It got me my first job. It got me, from a different, even in the military, knowing someone who I really got along with knew someone else and got me a really great job and a great duty station in the military that allowed me to be successful and learn more life skills than I wouldn't have gotten in that initial assignment that they had assigned me to. So just really networking and being a nice person really goes a long way still, believe it or not, in today's society. And then just hard work gets noticed too. Um, putting your head down and having a good work ethic is really important, and people do notice that. And then honestly, I'd like to say everyone's just faking it till they make it. So do things that scare you. Go for that thing that scares you the most, because you never know, it might make you the most successful.